Good morning. Today I'm going to take you through the process that I use for detailing the Africa Twin. I'm going to talk about different products, my philosophy behind it, and we're going to get into more detail about the Africa Twin, what my plans are, and so forth. So I'm going to bring you in for a closer look so you can see that the bike isn't too crazy dirty, but in the way I like my bike to look, it's a bit filthy. So you can see the wheels, last rag, a little road grime on. And we need to address that. We can't have this looking like this. Apologize for the shakiness as I transition back and forth here. Try to keep you centered. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Adams car shampoo, and I'm going to run the foam cannon so we can get a bulk of the dirt off. Obviously you don't want to run the water and whatnot down into the exhaust. I mean, you could cover it, but it's not completely necessary. Just try to do your best to avoid pouring a whole bunch of water down the exhaust. Now, once we get a good layer of the foam on, now we'll do from the top down. Wash the cleaner parts first, just like as if you were washing your vehicle. Wheels last. On a vehicle that's more covered in grime, we would use 2 buckets, but 1 bucket for a motorcycle is fine. Like I said, we'll start with the tank. Avoid going too far down the motorcycle at this point. Just trying to do the areas that are pretty much clean. And the nice thing about the Adams car shampoo, being that it's pH neutral, is you can use it in direct sunlight. You don't have to worry about water spotting. And we're going to use a blow dry system towards the end here, which will get any remaining water off the bike so that we avoid those pesky water spots as much as possible. All right, now that we got the plastics, the tank, and we're going to go in for this fender, forks, try to get into here in the frame. I got some other tools that I'll use, and boar's hair brushes to do the finer work. This is just the initial pass to get the bulk of stuff off. Swing arm. Come back here. Get all our rear plate area. Blinkers, all that good stuff. Get our exhaust. Engine cases. Yes. once we do that, we'll bring in the old wheel Willie here, and this will let us get right between all the spokes. And then we'll go to the finer boar's hair detail brush, get the edges of the rim. It's a little chilly out, so I apologize if I'm sniffling. Get right side this rotor here. Rear wheel. I don't really feel the need for any type of chemicals on the wheels. No need for it. Not yet anyway. If we get a lot of brake residue buildup, it wouldn't hurt to use wheel cleaner. Just make sure you're just getting it on the rim. Avoid your chain. And of course, after the wash, it's always good to clean and lubricate the chain. Alright, now we'll go again with the rear wheel with the detail brush here on the outside of the rim. And that should be good for that. Now we'll give it a good rinse. Okay, the next step, we're going to use a product called Formula 4 Spray Wax. Now this stuff is used at most of your big car washes, and it's another product used to fight water spotting. It also provides a little bit of protection. You spray it on with a pump style sprayer, and it can go on pretty much everything except for your tires. And basically I'm putting this on before I rinse to avoid those pesky water spots. And then the final process will be using a distilled water with a battery operated pressure washer, which will help with any other issues as far as water spots and hard water. And you'll see as I rinse, the water will immediately beat up. You see how it sheets right off? That's that Formula 4 spray wax. And so that you can spray that on everything. And it'll last probably, 2 to 4 weeks. longer on a motorcycle. I'm talking on a car, but on a motorcycle, probably all you really need. You know, that hand waxing with paste wax and fighting it. All right, now that we've done that, last process, like I said, we're going to use a battery operated pressure washer made by Works. And I've got it run into a 5-gallon pail of distilled water. And this is just to get rid of any residual hard water. And lastly, we're gonna blow dry the bike off. I apologize if that was rather loud with the blow drying process. And our last step, we're going to use a product called P&S Bead Maker. Now, this is, again, can be sprayed on just about any surface. Wet the microfiber down, little spritz, and you can pretty much spray all your plastics first, including the windshield. Avoid spraying the tire, and just wipe. You're gonna end up using 2 microfiber towels, one that you've sprayed down with the bead maker, and then you'll go over it for a final wipe with a clean, dry microfiber. And it adds a nice little layer of protection. And as long as you work, consistently, you won't have any issues in sunlight. You just don't want to let the product, sit on any, paint or anything and dry. Pretty much goes for any detail product. Just give it a once over. Flipping the microfiber, because I just touched the engine case, so I flipped it to a clean surface. And we'll flip the microfiber again. And finish up this part. All right, we'll set that towel aside, get a fresh towel for the final pass on here. So we're getting almost done with the detail part here of the video. It's not too awful complicated, but the products, like I said, I like to use would be the Formula 4 spray wax as a product when the paint is wet, and it'll allow you to rinse the vehicle, whether it be a car, motorcycle, and avoid getting any water spots. And then the last step, the P&S Bead Maker, is a protectant that can be used on all surfaces. Probably one of the best products I've found. I used to detail cars professionally for my own business. And so I recently retired, and I'm looking to go back to a job that I've never done before, but it's right up my alley. So I applied for a job at a motorcycle dealership. I interviewed yesterday, and should hear something here pretty soon. I'm hoping to get the job. It'd be nice to be around something that I enjoy. It really wouldn't be a job to me like my previous employment. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I should hear something later this week. And I had to tell them up front, though, that I've been planning this cross-country motorcycle trip, and I'm going to need 4 to 6 weeks off for the trip. I didn't want to leave them high and dry and not be forthcoming. And they sounded like they were willing to give me the time off. So we'll see what happens. If I do get the job, I will be selling Triumph, Ducati, Indian, and CF Moto. And it's a nice dealership. I have purchased a motorcycle there in the past. It'd be kind of weird that I currently have a Honda, but I also have an Indian. So I think I'll have to ride the Indian to work if I get the job. They got a couple events planned this year, some track days, which I'm looking forward to. I think that'll be really fun. I've never done a track day. They said it was mandatory, and then they said, no, we're just kidding. So you don't have to twist my arm for that. And just wrapping up here with drying the wheels. And I got an appointment at the dealership I purchased this at to get the side cases and top trunk and crash bars and all those goodies put on. So that's going to the shop. Appointments for Tuesday. I think I'm gonna take it down a little early, maybe later today, because I don't want to deal with the weather on Tuesday. It doesn't look very good. And detailing is like anything. You could go around the bike 10 times, find something that you missed. But managing expectations, that's something that I learned when I was detailing, because people would come in and their vehicle would be trashed. You give them a price, and you also have to convey that if you want every dog hair removed from your vehicle, all right, you can have your base charge, and then I'm going to charge you by the hour after that, because I'm not going to sit there and pluck a strand of dog hair out one at a time, when the difference between 90% and 100%, the amount of effort that it's going to take and the amount of money it's going to cost you, is it worth it to you? Because you're just going to put your dog back in the car. And 99% of the time, the customer's going to tell you, no, 90% is good. And back then, I think I was charging like $125 for the interior detail of a car, $150 for a small SUV, $175 large SUV. Then they'd tack on a $40 surcharge for carpet extraction if it was really dirty, and a $30 pet hair flat fee. And again, that was, I'll get 90% of it out for that $30, or I'm going to charge you $100 an hour if you want all of it gone. So needless to say, nobody opted for the $100 an hour, me plucking out one single hair at a time. Well, I think she's looking purty. And of course, when you step back, it's like, kind of looks good. But I'm sure if I get right up close, put my glasses on, I'm going to find spots that could use a little more work. But here again, 90% to 100%. Right? Am I going to never ride this again? No, of course not. I'm going to ride it later today probably. So I'm going to get it dirty again. So I think that unless I'm putting it in some kind of event, this will be sufficient. Because at the end of the day, it's an adventure bike. And on the Transamerica Trail, I'm going to be running into all kinds of terrain. I don't think I'm going to keep the bike real pretty. Alright, time to clean and lube the chain, and probably hit it with the blow dryer one more time. It should be good. So to clean and lube the chain, I use Maxima chain cleaner or Maxima chain wax. Maxima cleanup and Maxima chain wax. And grab a little catch pan. Get my hose out of the way here. And I can set this right down here as I catch all my good stuff I'm about to spray here. This stuff works really, really good. So we'll kind of just keep moving the chain here. Just keep spraying. Spray it generous amount of cleaner here. That should be good. And we'll grab one of the microfiber towels I was just using, because it's just going to go in the trash after all this. And be careful as you spin your chain not to pull your hand into the sprocket. That leads to disasters and missing fingers. So just go nice and easy. After a few passes, as you can see, we got a bulk of the grime off. And one of the other microfiber towels I was using isn't filthy. Now we'll throw a layer of the chain wax on. Same thing, we're gonna turn the chain as we spray. Spray a generous amount on. Make sure you get all the chain. Once we do that, take this microfiber and we're just going to wipe down the excess so we can reduce some splatter. And that's it. Chain is cleaned and lubricated. The bike is clean again. And until next time, be safe, enjoy the ride.